everyone. I hope that you're all doing well. It's been a long time since I've spoken to you, and hopefully, I'll be recording even more. But this video is a book review, and it is about a book that I purchased several weeks ago. My intention was to review it for Black History Month, but I ran out of time. So I'm going to be reviewing it for Women's History Month. I finished most of the book, but I haven't finished all of the book. So I'm going to review as much as I can with what I've read so far, and hopefully you'll enjoy it too. The title of this book is Meditations for Black Women, 75 Mindful Reflections to Help You Stay Grounded and Find Inner Peace. And it was written by Oludara Adeyo. I don't know if it's Adeyo, Adeeyo, or if it's Adeyo, but she is the best-selling author of Self-Care for Black Women. Now, as I mentioned in some of my other videos, I have been extremely busy. I've been working 6 days a week, so I'm kind of tired, drained. I've been losing a lot of focus. So most of the books that I've been gravitating towards are either books that are relatively short, that aren't too taxing on my brain, that I can read like that, but still have some type of substance, or books that are that speak on the experiences I am having at the present moment, something that I can use to heal or get through whatever experience I'm going through. And I think this book served both purposes. So before I get into the book, I wanted to share with you a little bit about the author, Oludara Adeyo. Now, in the back, there's a nice little bio, and it says, Oludara Adeyo is a mental health therapist and the author of Self-Care for Black Women, Affirmations for Black Women, a journal, and Mind, Body, and Soul, a self-care coloring book for Black women. She is passionate about helping people, especially Black women, improve their overall wellness. Before becoming a licensed clinical social worker, Oludara worked as a writer and editor. She has been an associate web editor at Cosmopolitan and the managing editor at XXL. She lives in Los Angeles. Now that sounds like a nice little book. This book is relatively new. It was published in 2025 by Simon & Schuster. There's a nice little table of contents. There's a lot of graphics, which is great if you're into imagery. And each section starts off with a quote by a Black woman, and then there's the meditation and the reflection. Then the next step is to take action. So it goes quote from a Black woman, meditation that you focus on or meditate on, reflection, which is basically a longer description of what the meditation is talking about, and then take action are short actions that you can take in your daily life in order to heal or bring the meditation into fruition. She explains that in the one chapter, A Guide to Self-Reflection and Meditation. In the table of contents, I'm going to go through the ones that really stood out to me, and I'm going to read a bit of it and also incorporate some of my experiences in there, because I'm just like, that's why I related to it. So the first meditation is focus on yourself. The meditation is, I will not allow racism to distract me from pursuing my dreams. And it starts off with a quote by Toni Morrison. It says, it's important, therefore, to know who the real enemy is and to know the very serious function of racism, which is distraction. It keeps you from doing your work. It brings you explaining over and over again your reason for being. And in the reflection, it says, it's true. Racism and sexism, hello, misogynoir, exists to distract you from what's really important, becoming the best version of yourself in this lifetime. And the best way to get there is by living life with less stress and more rest. Experiencing things like discrimination and prejudice because of your racial and gender identity creates emotional distress that can be detrimental to the mind, body, and soul. You are constantly dealing with the wounds of racism-related stress. You will not have enough time to pursue your dreams or manifest a life that you feel aligns with you, who you are as a person. Do not allow the systems of oppression get in the way of your destiny, and then take action. Reflect on ways you can soothe yourself emotionally when dealing with microaggressions. Now, my experience with racism, I do experience racism, but right now, the racism I feel is more systemic. I haven't had many microaggressions like that because when I was a child and a younger person, I feel that is when I experienced the bulk of my racism, like very bad racism, being run out of where I lived due to racists trying to bring me. But because I was my whole life, my whole mind, as a young person, the child as a teenager was focused on racism. I read a lot about Black history. I would experience discrimination with like people's comments about my hair and just all sorts of different things. Like it was this really bad, mostly microaggressions, but sometimes it'd be in my face. But as I got older, I guess I don't really notice it anymore. If I do have racism, it's usually just something's happening with the system and it's affecting me and it really sucks. But I think the reason that I feel this way now is because I took racism off as one of the centers of my being. In my mind now, I know there are people that can create things that can stop me from doing whatever. But that's just on the physical plane. In my mind and in my soul, who are you? You're just a human. You're not the earth. You're not the universe. You are just a human with racism. Like the most you can do to me is maybe mess with my money, maybe attack my physical body, but my soul is free. So I just stopped thinking about them. Like, even the things that made me mad about racists as a child and as a teenager, I just don't care anymore about them. I stopped giving them my energy. I don't care. Because just from watching what happened to them, I would see their karma happen to them. You know, like they would either be on the streets or lose everything or age rapidly or get ill. Like, that's just what racism does. Racism destroys your body because it's anti-life. It destroys your mind and soul because it is anti-life. But my experience is going to be different than other Black women because Black women, people try to put us under an umbrella. And yes, you could put us under an umbrella, but we're similar, but we're different. We're not all the same. Some of us have different belief systems. Some of us are religious. Some of us are atheists. Some of us are like part of LGBTQ. Others are not. Some of us are in corporate America, others are just hippies going everywhere. We have different skin colors, different hair types, and so all of these variations are going to color our experiences. So you might have one Black woman that she'll barely experience any racism because of how she looks or how she acts or how she operates, or if she fits into whatever type of box people think that they'll be like, oh, she looks like this, she talks like this, she has this, so I'm going to treat her this way. But somebody like a hip hop baddie, they're going to treat a completely different way. It's going to be nuance. It's going to be nuance. So you'll have some that will experience extreme levels of blatant racism, and then you have some whose racism microaggressions are so subtle they don't even know what's happening, because it's based off of like who they are, what they look like, what their finances are, like what their position is. It's gonna vary from Black women to Black women. But yeah, because I took my energy back from the racists and made them get out of my mind, I felt like I had more peace. Yes, there's racism still going on. I'm not trying to gaslight people, but I'm like, you're not important to me. You're just, I'm free. The end. Nothing you can do anything on this physical plane. Okay. Good luck. The next chapter is add rest to your activism. And it's a quote by Angela Davis. Anyone who's interested in making change in the world also has to learn how to take care of herself, himself, their self. And that's by Angela Davis. The meditation is, the best way I can help change the world is by taking care of myself. Reflection. Black women seem to always be at the forefront of helping to enact change in and outside of our communities, across the globes. We help start movements. We encourage systematic shifts, and we advocate for justice. If this describes who you are, then you need to make sure that self-care is part of your activism. You see, it may feel like in order to witness the change you want to see in the world, you need to keep grinding and ignoring your needs. However, you cannot pour strength and hope into others if your wellness cup is empty. Start by creating boundaries around what you care about. For example, limit how much daily information you consume on the social issues close to your heart. This can look like not getting on social media first thing in the morning or right before bed to see the struggles and tragedies others are going through, and then take action. Think about how you can include rest and other self-care practices in your daily routine while also participating in social justice and social causes you care about. Now, I used to protest a lot, especially as a child. Any march, I was there. Teenager, march, I'm there. 20s, I'm there. Now, I'm not there. You won't see me. I'm not there. Oh, and I ate a grape, I'm sorry. Because, and I'll tell you what made me stop, where I was just done. It was during Ferguson, because I spent a bulk of my childhood in Ferguson. I've lived all over this city, but my grandma's house was in Ferguson, and that's where I lived for many years. And one day, there was a protest at the fire department. Can't remember. And some of the protesters were arguing about what should we do? What is the next step? So there was one guy that said, we need to organize. We need to march. And then there was another person that was arguing about how to pray. So one person was saying, you have to pray in the name of Allah. Another person was saying, you have to pray in the name of Jesus Christ. And then there was a young person that was like, I'm sick of marching. I want to blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, I don't have the energy anymore. I know I'm one person and one person can't change the world, but I'm done. I can only change what I can change. I can only change my heart. It would take exorbitant amounts of energy to change the heart and mind of another person. That's why we have laws, to force people into punishments or force people to follow whatever. But we cannot go into their hearts and alter their hearts. That's something they have to personally do themselves. They have to make a personal choice. And during that time, I was protesting at Ferguson because of Michael Brown. And then I was protesting because I was living on like Grandin Shaw at the time. And that's where Von Derek Myers had gotten unalived. So I was protesting over there. And I was dealing with the living situation. So it was just all bad. And I had no job, barely. I wasn't taking care of myself. All of my energy was being utilized for all of these causes, but not the cause of myself. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be protest. Sometimes it could just be your energy in general. You know how many people I've let stay in my home? At least 10 different ones. Usually I ended up broker than I did when they came, before they came. But what is the point? You can only do what you can do. I also think it's because people want Black women to either be a mom of everyone, or they want her to be a child where she doesn't know what to do. Because Black women are the fire and fuel of different movements, you know. They want, when something goes wrong, if you throw in the Black woman element, it's going to just blow up. It's going to get huge. It's going to have that spice in there that you need to make the movement go forward. We are movers and shakers of the world, all over the world. So that's why they want you to be like a mom to them. Take care of this Black woman. Hey, I know that you're busy, but I need you to watch all of my kids. I need you to build this for me. I need you to do that for me. I need you to take care of me. But what do we get in return? But then you also want to treat the Black woman like she's a child. Like she doesn't know what to do with her life. Well, you're not doing anything with your life. You're just a child. What do you mean? Haha, silly of you that you want to start like a multi-million-dollar business. That's cute. You don't know what to do. Let me tell you what to do. Here, follow my structure. So after a while, if you're not careful, you will literally go insane. I have seen with my own eyes Black women literally have nervous breakdowns just from protesting, and not just protesting, just taking care of everyone. Or they died. Or they literally died. That's what happened to one of my friends. She took care of everyone and then she just died. She was taking care of the church that she was going to. She was taking care of her sister. She was taking care of her niece, her nephew, her niece's kids, her husband, her choir. And then one night she just died. And she wasn't even in her 60s. She was like in her either late 40s or early 50s. So is that what you really want to do? Is it worth the sacrifice to do all that? I don't think so. Because how can you be the spice if you're in a coffin? Be the spice in your own life. Put up boundaries. It's okay to say no. You can say no, just like everyone else. Like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. I don't have it. And some Black women don't want to do that because they don't want to come off as like a bitch. But you know what? Who cares? Who cares what they think? Are they going to pay for your funeral? No? Okay, then. Are they paying your bills? No. Are they working your job? No. Forget these people. Okay. Connect with your softness. And it has a quote by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. And she's the author of We Should All Be Feminists. And she's the author of Half of the Yellow Sun and Americana. Like, she's a good writer. It says, I have chosen to no longer be apologetic for my femaleness and my femininity, and I want to be respected in all of my femaleness because I deserve to be. Connecting with your softness and femininity is a revolutionary act, especially in a world that expects Black women to remain strong and resilient at all times. Let's not forget that if a woman has dark brown skin, wide hips, and some Jackson 5 nostrils, to quote Beyonce, people will call her masculine because she does not fit into the Eurocentric beauty standard of being thin and lighter skinned with petite facial features. Boo! To be feminine is to be you. And if you identify as a woman, you're automatically feminine, and you have a right to claim the softness of your womanhood. Traditional femininity is associated with socially constructed female traits, such as nurturing, gentleness, and grace. And by embracing your femaleness, you are rejecting the idea that your self-worth is tied to your ability to remain tough and steadfast in the midst of hardships. Softness is your feminine right. And it says, take action. How can you connect with your softer side? Go do that. I kind of agree. I just feel like femininity isn't just one thing. Like, some people, when they think of femininity, they actually think of cottagecore or princesses, like Disney princesses, or like Proverbs 31 woman, which was actually a working lady, but actually was running businesses and households and stuff. But like, I think femininity for Black women is going to vary. It's just like all of the different goddesses we have in the world. Like, you have goddesses that hunt. You have goddesses with multiple arms that'll rip off your head. You have goddesses that will mother children. You have goddesses of beauty. You have goddesses that are like, I am the shadow of the night. Ah! Like, you have so many different ones. Yet those are feminine. Like, I think when people think of femininity, they're like, oh, you kind of brush 100 strokes of my hair. Yeah. I know she briefly mentioned colorism in there too, which is, I don't know if she mentions more about like colorism in the book, but that's one thing. Not just colorism, featureism too, hair texture, how you're treated, is going to be different. Even like your weight, how you're treated as the size, your height. If people think you're from somewhere, like, I remember this was like 4 years ago, and I was walking. No, some guy was trying to talk to me, and I wasn't having it. And he's like, what are you mixed with? Are you black and white? Are you from another country? Are you Ethiopian? And I'm like, no, I'm Black. I'm a Black American. He said, oh, so you're Black like me? And I said, Yes. And he's like, oh. And he walked away. He literally turned around in disgust and walked away. You're black like me? Ugh. This this whole chapter is another reason I'm not on social media. I don't know if I told you one of the reasons I'm off of social media, especially like Facebook, was I was tired of the toxic arguments over stupid stuff. The final straw argument was the who gets served a plate first. I was just done. I'm like, really? Is this what we're gonna do? Argue about finances? Like, why are we arguing about who gets served food first at a dinner table? Is it your man or is it your kids? Who's getting served first? Oh, I'd make a plate for my man. Well, no, my kids eat. Man, who cares? Who cares? Is these the conversations we're having? Literally, are these the conversations we're having? So, another one of the reasons I got off of social media is just people policing black women about what femininity is. I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want. You want me, on one hand, you're like, I want you to have natural hair. Okay. So the girl could have natural hair, but it's not the hair texture or curl pattern that you want. You want, oh, I want her to have like blue black skin, but you don't want her to be plus size with blue black skin with a wide nose. You want her to have certain structured features for that so that you can see her as feminine. You want her to have like some baddie body. You don't want her to just look like your mom. Like, yeah, you don't want her to, yeah. You want her to look a certain way so that way she can be feminine, or you want to make her into some type of fetish depending on her size. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You want a black woman to wear this. You want a black woman to wear that. You want her to do this to her hair. She can't be too loud, but she has to be loud. I don't like quiet. Like, what do you want? I don't know what you want. You can't tell me how to be feminine. I'm going to be feminine however I want to be feminine. If I want to wear a long skirt one day and my hair covered, I can do that and still be feminine. If I wanted to wear booty shorts and a halter top with a belly button ring, I can still be feminine. Now, me, I wouldn't wear it, but there are some girls that wear it. I know a girl that is, I don't know if she's very plus size. I don't think she's obese, but she's very, very plus size. She wears waist beads and belly shirts. I see her as feminine. It just is all in the eye of the beholder and what you think feminine is. Because some of us aren't doing the whole cottagecore thing. Some of us have jobs. Some of us are baling hay. Some of us are using chainsaws. Like, are we not women? That's why Sojourner Truth said, I've baled more hay than all of these men. Am I not a woman? And this was a woman that was 6 feet tall. This was a woman that was 6 feet tall and spoke Dutch, who could out haul any man, but she's not a woman. So yeah, I think femininity is just kind of new. Black women. Another chapter. Okay, start over when you've failed. 54. Serena Williams. I really think a champion is defined not by their wins, but how they recover when they fall. The meditation is, my failures do not define me, for I will always try again. Starting over after you failed is a disheartening yet empowering journey, especially as a Black woman, because we live in a world that does not allow us to fail, nor does it grant us the opportunity to gracefully bounce back from our mistakes. Black women are always held to a different standard. Society would rather have us suffer forever from our missteps than see us win, but that does not have to be your story. You are allowed to have a fresh start after a setback. While expectations from loved ones or society may try to bind you to your past disappointments, it is imperative that you learn to break free from these restrictions. It says, seek out support from people you trust or a mental health professional to change this negative self-image you may have already developed because of this failure. Starting over after you failed is about defining success on your own terms, not what your mama or daddy says. Heck, not even what you may have been taught in restrictive spaces like church or school. You have to channel your disappointment into rebuilding a future that aligns with your ambitions. Go hit that refresh button on your life. Take action. If you are in a space where you need to start over, what is stopping you from doing so? Reflect on this. I feel like I'm in a space where I want to start over, but the way I want to do it would make people so freaking mad. I don't know how to do it. And I don't think I have enough saved. It's really the money stopping me, honestly. It's the money stopping me. And what I want to do, because I'm just more an impatient type of person. I'm tired of waiting on people. Yeah. But what did I just say? I forgot that quick. I'm sorry. Develop, let go of your start after you fail. So, for example, I keep mentioning reasons why I'm off social media. And this is another reason why I'm off social media. Because of the arguments, once again, about Black women. It's like, I can do one thing and be punished forever, but somebody else of another race or a man can do the same thing, and it's just water under the bridge. Oh, the boys will be the boys. Oh, she was just, having her wild college. Yeah. That's why I stopped watching everything. I'm just like, this is disgusting. This is literally disgusting. I could literally have like a baby daddy or something, and they will never let me forget about that. They'll be like, look at her. She's a baby mama. Oh my God. I can't believe she's a baby mama. Okay. Look at her. I'm going to treat her like trash. But then you have, let's say like, I'll just use like white girl or something. I'm not saying all white girls, but like some of them. Same thing. Nobody blinks an eye. Oh, she's a boss mom. Same situation, different response. I have a friend that I love to death. But if she was Black, they would have punished her forever for like her decisions. But I love her. So I really don't care what she did in her life. Like I don't care because she's my friend. But like I'm going to use her as an example. Like she had a 4.0, all her schooling almost. She would like party. She would smoke, but party. And she would have this rotation of boyfriends and girlfriends. And she was just like, every month, every week, it was a new boyfriend or girlfriend. And I didn't judge her for it. I was like, okay. At least because some people, they don't date. They don't experience dating. Like some people are like, oh, let's just have one person. Like I dated like one dude on and off for 6 years. What I should have done was dated multiple dudes. If I could go back in time, I would have dated multiple dudes. but I didn't because I was like goody two shoes. So this girl had a baby. We didn't know who the father was. Then she found out who the father was. And then she had like some more people, like boyfriend, girlfriend. Then she got with another guy. She got engaged and then had another baby. And she's in her career. But if she was a black woman, they would never let her live this shit down. I can't believe she's over there. She's just a pass around, dating over here, dating over there. I mean, look at Sierra. Sierra, the singer, the dancer, she's married. She only had one baby daddy before her man, before her husband. And they still talking about her. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I can't believe he... Future has like 8, 9 baby mamas. So who is the problem? She shouldn't have had a baby with them, but whatever. It's done. Are we going to punish people forever? Like, who are these people? That's why some black women never recover, because they are so concerned about what society thinks about them that they literally punish themselves. Some black women have lived just their young life or made a mistake and they can't handle it. So you know what happens? They either go insane or they start drinking or they become super, super, super religious. Like they get the most restrictive religion that they can find and they jump in it and douse themselves in whatever belief system it is. Because that's the only way they feel they can redeem themselves. Or they marry the first dude that comes around so they feel like they can redeem themselves. Instead of just being like, I'm a human and I don't leave the earth unscathed. You're not allowed to have that experience, apparently, as a black woman, because you do one thing when you're 20, it's going to follow you until you're 60 years old. Or they want you to be super obedient, or they want you to just be like, you have to wait for your husband. Like, what if he doesn't come? What if he doesn't come? Then what? What are you going to do? You want kids? Are you going to get a donor? But you don't want a donor because there's no husband. Now you have them, now they're mad. Oh, I can't believe you have a baby. Like, it's a cycle. That's just one example. Sometimes it'd be like, oh, I want to date this type of person, or I want to go into this type of career, or I want to have this type of lifestyle. And they don't want you to have it. They don't want you to experience and beat your head up against the wall and make a mistake. Like, some mistakes are life-changing and life-altering and they just suck. And then other mistakes are just life. Are we literally going to punish ourselves for the rest of our lives for something we did 3 to 70 years ago? Are we really going to do that? Like, what is the point? These people are literally not going to be around in 100 years. Most of them. If they even make it that far. And then what? Nobody's going to remember because they'll all be gone. We're letting these people live rent-free in your head. And by these people, I don't mean strangers. I mean the people closest to you, the past version of you. It's okay to have a start. Just think of a volcano. When there's a volcanic eruption, it's like, I'm going to burn everything. Burn tree, burn gravel, burn everything. And everything's just burned. And it's covered in lava. And then it stops. And now the soil is renewed. The soil it's grown in richness. Now new life is flourishing from all of that craziness. Like, that's how I feel. When I see it, like when I see a black woman that went from one way to another way, I just don't judge her. I'm like, okay. I know all sorts of black women. I know some that were like wild and then they became super religious and that's just how they are now. I know a black girl that's an exotic dancer and that's just what she likes to do. She's like, she's young too. She'll be like, yeah. And that's her thing. is just different. That's how they are. Like, that's their personality. We aren't all in a bubble. We aren't all in a jar. Sometimes when I'm thinking to myself and thinking of my mistakes, I have to get out of that brain and be like, it's a new day. People aren't gonna, they'd be dead in 100 years or less. Like, are we really gonna do this? Are we really gonna punish ourselves for the rest of our lives? You have to make a choice, because if you keep punishing yourself and punishing yourself and punishing yourself, you will never move forward. You will never grow. You have to think of yourself like a little baby. You fell, but you still got up and was walking. You used to spill spaghetti on your bib, but now you can put it in your mouth and not spill spaghetti. But you had to go through that whole thing of spilling spaghetti all over your face and finger foods and all that. You had to go through that. So now you're in the finger food stage. It's okay to figure it out. It's okay to get messy while you're figuring it out. Just don't hit yourself with a brick. Like, stop that. That's not going to help anybody. Who's it going to help? It's not helping you. Let's see. I'm going to, I don't know. There's so many chapters in here. I'm going to start off, I'm going to end with this one. Free yourself from negative influences. This is Tina Turner. Whatever is bringing you down, get rid of it, because you'll find that when you're free, your true creativity, your true self comes out. Meditation. I release all things that are holding me back from my true self. Reflection. Sis, do you ever feel like there's something holding you back from being your true self? Yes. If so, you must figure out what it is and let it go. I feel like there's several things, but we'll see. Whether it's your insecurities, fears, or doubts, you must not let negativity, including your thoughts and the people you surround yourself with, prevent you from being the best version of yourself. Thus, being proactive about pursuing freedom of expression and creativity is a necessity for your self-care journey. For Black women, a lot of negativity may be holding us back from our true selves. First off, it's the fear of judgment from people who are not kinfolk. Our hypervisibility and invisibility causes us to simultaneously worry about being seen as a negative stereotype and grimace at the idea of people ignoring our fabulous existence. To free yourself from any negativity that is preventing you from being your true self, you will have to make time to reflect on what exactly is holding you back. Is it your relationships, work environment, thoughts, or something else? Like all of them. Anyway, only you can uncover the truth of that. Take action. Evaluate your life. Is there any negativity that is holding you back from your true self? Take steps to free yourself from it. I've gotten rid of most of the negativity in my life. That was like some of the sources of my negativity. A lot of them are coming from friends, but now the only ones left are in my mind and work environment. Yeah. Some people, if the negativity is a person or a habit, they don't let go of it because they're afraid of how they'll be perceived. For example, some people really need to go no contact with their parents or their relatives because they are toxic, but they don't want to do that because they don't want people to see them as being evil and how dare you abandon this person or that person or stop talking to your mom or your dad or your child. But some people are so toxic at that level that if you don't put up those barriers, you will literally destroy your life because they are bringing you down. I had to get rid of one of my closest friends last year. Like every time I think about it, it's like a pain in my soul because I really, really cared about her, and I haven't spoken to her since like February last year, and it's just hard. But she was it was that toxic relationship that I couldn't deal with, and I had to make a choice. I'm like, I can't have this energy in my life. I can't be a positive person in your life when this toxic person in your life is literally stopping all of your dreams, sabotaging all of your stuff. Some people just get close to you just to sabotage you. Some people won't get close to you. They'll just plant an idea in your mind, and then they want you to just destroy yourself from afar. That's why you always have to be mindful of how you perceive yourself and not punish yourself for the little things. You have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself. You have to make space for yourself in your heart. Like, sometimes I think about my old apartment that I lived in last year, and even though I really didn't like it, it still was my home for 4 years. But that's just an example of negativity that I had to get away from. Like, I was on the south side of St. Louis, and I'm just like, are we really going to accept this? Like, every night, shooting, downstairs, shooting, corpse found in the back of your apartment. Like, is this what we feel, what we deserve? You can only do so much to change the environment around, but that's what people like. People will sometimes create the environments that are what is in their heart. If what is in their heart is violence, that is what's going to come out in their actions. And sometimes you don't have the energy or the power to alter that. You have to just get away from it or cut it out of your life. And that's a hard pill to swallow. And maybe it's not a person. Maybe it's like the music that you listen to, the types of foods that you eat, the types of films that you watch. Like, I don't listen to anything that's just, I don't watch horror movies. Like, I'm not saying horror movies are bad, but I just don't. I'm like, I don't want to watch you. I don't want to watch shootings. I don't want to watch gang movies. I don't want to listen to trash. I don't want these things in my mind. I don't want to associate people that are flirting with death. If you are involved in destroying the community for your own personal gain, I don't want to be around you because I don't want to associate with you. Because then what's that going to say about me? Then I'll be in your cycle. So you have to think of this like negativity out of your life as like a game of life or death, because sometimes it is life or death. You know how many people I've known that have gotten unalived because they associated with negativity. And it wasn't that they were a negative person. It was just they were in a negative environment. So please preserve yourself, preserve your mental health, your physical health. But yeah, that's all I have to say for now. There's so many meditations in this book that are very good. And I think when you read it slowly, when you just, not in a day like I was trying to do, but if you actually just set an environment where it's peaceful or go somewhere quiet, where you can just read it one at a time and really reflect, I think it's even more powerful that way. Like, I didn't read it in the best way that it could be powerful. Like, I was just like flipping But how I would read it, like how I would suggest you read it, is read one at a time. Or if you feel like you want to move on to the next, like just take the time to ruminate in the meditation, reflect on what's happening or what happened in your life or in your past or what's happening now, and then really think about a plan of action for yourself. Like if you have low self-esteem, you can be like, hey, maybe I should work on that. Like maybe I should speak better things to myself. Or maybe I should not stay in my room. I should go outside and walk. Maybe I should get new friends. Maybe I should expand my horizons, you know? But yeah, that's all I have to say, everyone. But I will talk to you later. Bye bye.